Hi my angels, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another one branded makeup tutorial, and this one is all with Clinique. Now I love doing videos like this because it helps me, not only makes me fall in love with products that I used to use, but it also introduces me to newbies in the range, which I love. So if you would like to see how I got this makeup look, then you guys know what to do. So I'm starting off with using some Moisture Surge on my face. This is probably one of my favourite moisturizers to use on my face before going in with makeup. It's very lightweight but very hydrating. And moving straight onto primer, I used the Super Primer, and again this is very hydrating, so that's definitely something that I wanted before doing any kind of makeup on top of my skin. Moving straight onto foundation, I'm using the new Clinique Chubby in the Nude foundation stick in the shade Grandest Golden Neutral. Now I was so surprised when I used this. I drew loads of lines all over my face and started buffing that into my skin. Unlike other stick foundations that I've tried, this is so incredibly lightweight on the skin, and it gives such a light to medium coverage. And as you can see me doing right here, I'm adding another layer of this on, and what I really liked about this is that it sat so beautifully on my skin. It didn't look cakey, and it actually helped my skin look like skin even though I had two layers of foundation on. I'm going to include a clip close up so you guys can see exactly what my skin looked like. It was very natural, but it still had that coverage there. Next up, I moved on to concealer. I used the Airbrush Concealer, and I'm just putting that underneath my eyes, the usual areas, you guys know me, so underneath my eyes, on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, my chin, and around my mouth. And I also put a little bit underneath where my contour would be. And I'm just blending that all away to make sure that it's nice and blended into the foundation and that there are no weird lines. I also did put a little bit on my brow bone as well, just to highlight that area. Next up, we are moving on to contour, and for that I'm using the Chubby Stick Sculpting Contour Stick. And if you guys have been watching my videos pretty much from when I kind of started YouTube, you will know that I used to use this all the time. This is something which is just so easy to not only use but also to blend out. Like, I am really big on any contour products that are easy to blend out, and this is definitely one of them. And it is such a beautiful shade. It's so easy to blend out, and it kind of melts in with your foundation really well. So I've just put this onto the usual areas that I like to contour, and I'm blending all those lines away. Moving on to highlight, I'm using the Chubby Stick Sculpting Highlight Stick, and I'm putting this on the tops of my cheeks and also running that into my brow bone, down the bridge of my nose, and on my cupid's bow. And I'm blending this all out with my fingers. And I love the color of this. It's kind of like a pearly pink. I'm really funny with pink highlighters, but this one has the right amount of pearl and pink in it. Next, I'm using the blended face powder and just setting all the areas that we concealed. I should have done this before, but I totally forgot, so I'm doing it now. And then I'm moving on to brows. Here I'm using the Superfine liner for brows, and I was so impressed with this. The pen on this, the nib of it, is so fine that you could literally draw little hairs and mimic hairs on your brows. I really enjoyed using this. So if you're looking for a new brow pencil, then definitely check this one out. I was very impressed. Now, to set everything in place, I'm using the Just Browsing Mousse, which is like a mousse for your eyebrows. It's really quite bizarre. When I was putting this on, it felt so soft. I loved the feel of it. It's quite unique. I've not tried a product like this on the market yet. Next up, we're moving on to eyes. I'm using the Touch of Base primer for the eyelids in the shade Canvas. This is a very neutral color, especially for my kind of skin tone. As you can see, from my two eyelids, you can barely tell that there's anything on there, which is what I really like about it, because some primers can be a little bit too heavy and too pigmented. Now, moving on to eyeshadow, I'm using the Pretty Easy eye palette and taking this bronzy shade here, and I'm just adding a wash of that on to my eyelid and into my crease. This is going to be a very easy eye look. something that I do quite a lot, to be honest. I'm just putting about 2 layers of this onto my eyes. I'm just matching the other eye up here. And then I'm taking this shimmery bone kind of colour and I'm applying that to my brow bone. And that is pretty much it for this eye look. It's so effective once the eyeliner and the mascara is on. So speaking of eyeliner, I'm using the Skinny Stick Slimming Black Eyeliner. Again, the nib on this is so thin and I love that it's a retractable pencil. I'm all about the retractable pencils in comparison to like the pencils that you have to kind of, what's it called? Sharpen, that's the word. Now I'm just adding a thin line of it onto my upper lash line. And then I'm blending that out with a kind of like pencil brush. And I realized that this eye was a little bit thicker than the other one. So I'm just matching that eye up as well. And then going over with that bronzy shade just over my eyelids with not much product on it, just to make sure everything's nice and blended in. Moving on to mascara, I'm using the Chubby Lash Mascara, and I have used the High Impact Mascara years ago from Clinique, and I used to be obsessed with it. It was like my favorite mascara. This was like way before YouTube as well. But after trying this, I was so impressed once again with the Clinique mascaras. I didn't curl my eyelashes with this, and my eyelashes looked like they've literally been like lifted and curled. And as always, I am adding around about 2 layers of this onto my lashes because that is just how I like my mascara. I love loading mascara onto my lashes. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm taking some of this kind of like cool tone grey shade and I'm applying that to my lower lash line. I'm concentrating this colour on the outer kind of third and kind of blending it in to the rest of the lash line so it doesn't look like a blob of colour like on the lower lash line. Next up, we are just going to add a little bit of mascara to the lower lashes as well, and this is just to even out the look. You guys know me, I love doing this. I kind of feel naked when I don't have any mascara on my lower lashes. So once that is done, we are moving on to cheeks. I'm using the Chubby Stick Cheek in Amped Up Apple. I'm taking this brush here, which is a new brush from Clinique, and I'm actually dabbing it into the bullet of the cheek stick, and I'm kind of then applying it onto the cheeks. I find that you have more control with this, and it's so easy to blend out as well. Next up, we are moving on to lips. I'm using the Coming Up Rosy Chubby Stick Lip Balm, and I'm applying this on to the whole of my lips, and then I realized I want to add another color on top. So I actually took that same chubby stick for the cheeks that we applied on our cheeks, and I'm just applying that straight on top. And I loved this kind of combination because it was very natural looking, and this definitely added that kind of muted rosy tone, which I think complemented the eyes really well. So this, you guys, is the end of the makeup look and the final look that I created. It's a very kind of everyday wearable look. I personally love doing these kind of looks on my channel, kind of like same face, different products kind of look. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it because I know that a lot of you do like the more kind of natural everyday makeup looks. But yeah, if you would like to see any other One Branded tutorials, please leave me comments below. And before this outro gets super long, I'm going to leave it as that, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!